Hello, my dear learner. I welcome you to our distance learning program once again. Today marks another important meeting day, and today I'm going to take you through one important topic which accounted for student failure in 2016 BECE. And the topic for today's discussion is keyboarding and mouse skills. Keyboarding and mouse skills. But today we are looking at the second segment, that's mouse skills. Whilst you are seated by your television, please pick your phone, call a friend to call a friend, so that you all enjoy today's lesson. You are going to have a very nice time with me in this lesson. Let's look at the objectives for today's lesson. By the end of today's lesson, the learner will be able to 1. Explain the term mouse technique and demonstrate the uses of the various mouse techniques. 2. Provide accurate answers to the following past questions. And the first one is 2015 February. Question 1C. State 3 ways of using the computer mouse. 2015 June. Question 1A. Draw a well-labeled computer mouse. 2015 June. Question 4A. Explain the term clicking as used in computing environments. Then 2019 June. Question 4B. Explain each of the following terms. I, clicking. I, dragging. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to provide answers to all these past questions and also demonstrate the use of the various mouse skills. Now, before we look at what mouse techniques are, let's first consider what a mouse is. I know you know that a mouse is an input device, and this input device helps the computer user to navigate the computer or to issue certain commands to the computer. Mouse is singular, and the plural for mouse is mice. Now let's take the definition. A mouse is a small handheld device which helps the computer user to communicate with the computer. So as I said, mouse is the main input device which helps the computer user to interact with the computer. Now let's look at the various parts of a computer mouse, because before we will be able to go through the various mouse techniques, we need to know the various parts of a computer mouse. So on your TV screen, we have a well-labeled mouse. We have a roll ball in between the two buttons. That ball is called the scroll wheel. I said it is called what? A scroll wheel. At the left side of the scroll wheel is the left mouse button. The left mouse button, which is also called the primary button. At the right side of the scroll wheel is also the right mouse button, which in other way we call it the secondary button. We also have the body, and it is the main section where we place our hand. So these are the various parts of a computer mouse. Having taken you through the part of mouse, then let's look at what are mouse techniques. What are mouse techniques, my dear learner? Mouse techniques refer to the skills employed by a computer user to use the mouse to perform a desired task. So in our day-to-day use of the computer, we normally use the mouse. And the various ways we use the mouse, or the skill we employ to use the mouse, is what we call the mouse technique. So what are the various mouse techniques? let's look at the common mouse techniques we want to consider in today's lesson. 1. Pointing. 2. Clicking. 3. Right clicking. 4. Double clicking. 5. Drag and drop. 6. Triple clicking. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to explain each of these mouse techniques. So let's start. The first one to be considered is pointing. What is pointing? When we say pointing, what comes into your mind? Pointing refers to the act of positioning the mouse pointer on or over an item on the computer. So in mouse techniques, when we talk of pointing, we only drag the mouse and the mouse pointer is being placed on an object without performing any other task. Then the next one is clicking. Have you ever performed this operation before? So what is clicking? What is clicking? All right, compare your answer with what you see on your computer screen. Clicking is the process of pressing and releasing the left mouse button once without moving the mouse. The act of pressing and releasing the left mouse button once without moving the mouse. That is clicking. And I believe your answer is same as what you see on your television screen. Now, what do we use clicking for? Why will a user click on an object? 1. Clicking helps us to select objects or an icon on the desktop. So it means that when you have an object or you have any item on your computer and you only want to select it, you use what we call clicking. You only press the left mouse button over the item. And as soon as you do that, you see that the background of that item will be highlighted, which means that item is activated or is selected. 2. It helps us to open or launch a program in any opened menu. It means that when you open a menu and within that menu there are commands, we can also use clicking to open a program from that menu. I hope it's clear. All right. Now let's look at how we use clicking. So on our computer, let's illustrate it. Here we have a folder here, and the folder is named GTP 2020. Before I can click on this object to select it, I need to first position my mouse pointer on that item, which we call the pointing, the first mouse techniques. So here I have positioned the mouse pointer over the folder. Then to click on this object or folder, I have to press and release the left mouse button once. So here I have pressed and released the left mouse button. And what do you see? You can see that the folder has a background around it now. It means that it is activated, it is selected. So any action that you perform on the desktop will affect that selected folder. All right, let's continue. The next theme or mouse technique is double clicking. Double clicking. As the name suggests, double, which means two. So what comes into your mind when you hear double clicking? All right, compare your answer with what you see on your screen. Double clicking refers to the pressing and releasing the left mouse button twice in rapid succession. The pressing and releasing of the left mouse button, which is the same as the primary button, twice in a rapid succession. It means that to use double clicking, you have to press the left mouse button twice in a faster manner. You don't press at the button once, then you wait for a while, then you press for the second time, thinking you are performing double clicking. No, it wouldn't work. So here, it must be in a faster manner. What do we use double clicking for? We use double clicking to open a program whose icon is on the desktop. For example, we have this folder, GTP 2020, on the computer. You realize that when we clicked on it, it did not open, but it only highlighted it or selected it. This time round, I'm going to perform double click operation over this folder and let's see what happens. All right, after pressing and releasing the left mouse button twice, you can see that it has opened the folders window. So the window is on your screen. You can see this is the window. So it means that when you double click on any program's icon or on any file or on any folder, it will open that file, program or folder for you, as you can see on your screen. Again, double clicking can be used to select a given word in a document window. For example, in Microsoft Office Word window, and you want to select a particular word, only one word. Instead of dragging across the word to select it, we can perform the same task by using double click operation. So we are in Microsoft Office Word window. In this case, we want to select tema in this word window. So I have to position the mouse pointer in front of the word tema, which I have done that. After which, I will press and release the left mouse button twice in a rapid succession. That's double clicking, upon which the word tema is now selected.